would you say if I told you can earn a bit of Dubai real estate for 500 dirhams, £110 or $136?
Stake is a digital real estate investment platform that allows anyone from anywhere in the world to invest in Dubai real estate, starting from 500 dirhams in under 3 minutes from an app.
On this week, on Taking Care of Business, I am joined by Rami Tabbara, who is the CEO of Stake. We talk all things Dubai real estate.
Property prices have jumped in some areas over 100%.
Yep.
And we've already seen that. We've exited some of our properties where people have made over 55% return. So that's the beauty of real estate.
And different ways how you should diversify your investment and exit strategies.
Other than the fact that you're actually getting exposure into Dubai, which is one of the hottest real estate markets in the world, but you're actually getting the fact that you're not only earning that income, but you're seeing that capital appreciation being realized.
This is a fantastic episode. You have to watch it. Taking Care of Business. Let's do it. Hi, everybody. This week on Taking Care of Business, I have a fantastic guest. This one I am particularly excited about. I'm joined by the main man, Rami Tabbara, and he is the CEO of a company called Stake. Welcome, mate.
Thank you very much, Carl. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
So, people watching this, they are going to, I would imagine, a few, certainly in Dubai, would ask, what's Stake? Most people, I think, it's food. Yeah. But Stake as a proposition, tell us a little bit about who you guys are. Obviously, we've started working together quite a lot over the last 6 months. Yeah. So tell us about Stake and a little bit about yourself, that's okay.
Yep. So quickly on Stake. Stake is a digital real estate investment platform that allows anyone from anywhere in the world to invest in Dubai real estate, starting from 500 dirhams in under 3 minutes from an app. We launched the business in January 2021. We're based in the IFC, regulated by the DFSA. And the way it works is basically it's an app. You create an account, choose which property you want to invest in, and then boom, within 3 minutes, you can own a piece of Dubai real estate starting from 500 dirhams all across prime real estate in Dubai.
So if you are an international viewer, which we do have a fair few, in dollars, that's about $150 entry level.
Yeah, 136 to be exact.
And then pounds, we'll probably look at about £110.
Yep.
So you can own a bit of real estate today in Dubai for £110 or $136.
Mm-hmm. So just to give you like how it works, right? So we are based on, Stake is a fractional business, fractional real estate. So we believe that people want to invest in real estate. They have an affinity to real estate, but investing in real estate has always been difficult. You know, you put all your eggs into one basket, get a mortgage, go to bed at night knowing that you owe a bank. So how can you create a platform that's transparent, that's digital, but also, you know, affordable? How can people invest in real estate without having to worry about the payments or put all their money into one property? And that's how Stake was founded. We believe that real estate should be accessible, should be boundaryless, and should be transparent.
So if I can liken it to, and I probably shouldn't use this analogy, but liken it to Bitcoin. Yeah. Essentially, Bitcoin is an asset, if you want to call it an asset, and with that total asset, there's fractions. Mm-hmm. So every single person will own an amount of Bitcoin. Similar to Stake, you could have a property, but multiple people having an ownership of that property.
So the way it works is as well, you know, we every property can have 1,000 owners, every property can have 500 owners. It varies based on how much investors invest into it. We create a special purpose vehicle into every property, which is an SPV in the DIFC. So all the investors invest into a company called an SPV based in the DIFC. And then that property owns, company owns the property. And people get two types of documents, which is a share certificate equivalent to how much they own. And then they get a title deed in the name of the company. We've been operating now for just over 3 years. We're in our 4th year now. We have over 500,000 users, transacted over 300 million dirhams, and our users are from over 204 nationalities, 180 countries. So it's such a global kind of user base, and it just shows you how much Dubai attracts people from all over the world.
So I'm someone that's using Stake for the first time. We did talk about this earlier on, but for the viewers, how much money typically does someone invest in Stake, and really how much over a lifetime? What's the difference from the first amount of money they input in and then thereafter?
So, people tend to say, okay, what is this? This is new. Fractional real estate is a new concept. So people come in, they'll try us out with, 500 dirhams, which is the minimum investment. But over time, our investors are investing over 20,000 dirhams, which is close to $6,000. So people will come in, start off small, and then they wait to see, is this real? And as soon as they invest in the property, we distribute income at the end of every month. And this is something that's very important to highlight. Our properties are all finished. They're either rented or vacant and are going to be rented. So we don't do off-plan. Our regulator does not allow to do off-plan, which is actually a blessing because we want investors to invest in real estate and make money at the end of every month. So we distribute that rental income at the end of every single month, and people get that money straight into their stake wallet, which they can reinvest or withdraw back to any bank account in the world.
We talked about banks.
Yeah.
So WEO Bank is something I'm a big fan of over in Dubai. A little bit like a savings account, essentially. So you're putting money into stake, which allows you to buy something's bought. But the difference between a savings account and this, which you're getting rental income a month, is you also getting the upside of any property growth.
100%. So, I'm a user of WIO as well. WIO.
Yeah.
They give good interest on your savings. But, we feel that real estate is an asset class that gives you both that recurring rental income, but that capital appreciation, which you just mentioned. So people can invest in the property and realize that capital appreciation through two ways. Either they sell their stake. So when they own with us, after 1 year, they can sell their stake on our platform, something called the exit windows. And when they sell their stakes, there's obviously that capital appreciation that exists.
Yeah.
And they see that capital appreciation because at the end of every 6 months, we do a third-party valuation report. So you're able to log on to the app and see how much your stake is worth. But also, if they don't sell within the secondary market or exit windows, after a 5-year hold period, we do a vote on the platform and people can exit the property at that point. And people then get two streams of income, that capital appreciation and the rental income. And what we've seen in Dubai over the last 3-4 years, property prices have jumped in some areas over 100%.
Yep.
And we've already seen that. We've exited some of our properties where people have made over 55% return. So that's the beauty of real estate over just leaving it in the bank and, making that recurring income from savings.
What if I need my money?
After 1 year, you can sell.
Okay, so I've got to have my money in a property for 1 year.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm going to have 1 year's worth of rent.
Mm-hmm.
At 1 year.
After 1 year, you can list your stakes on the platform and exit.
Okay.
And we've run 2 exit windows so far. For every single seller, there were 4 buyers.
Okay.
So liquidity is there. It exists.
Do you know what I love about the platform? You
Tell me.
are an enabler of allowing people to have a piece of Dubai, every single person, irrespective of what job they do, how much money they earn. Basically, they can earn a bit of real estate today for 500 dirhams. It's absolutely incredible. Have you seen this anywhere around else in the world outside of the UAE that this concept is working as well as it's working for you guys?
So it exists in the US and Europe, obviously. But I think where we've pushed the envelope is we've really added an e-commerce kind of experience to the platform where literally it's such an easy platform to use. Download the app, you finish your KYC process, because we're regulated. When you create an account, you have to upload your passport, proof of address. After that, you can start investing. And I think what we really focused on is creating an app where it's similar to buying something on Amazon. Add to cart, check out, and boom, you're out. But what's really helped us is obviously Dubai is one of the best cities in the world. Everyone wants a piece of Dubai. We just did a partnership with a company in the US called Republic. And honestly, their entire user base have like, okay, Dubai, boom. They just started investing. We got so many transactions in our first month with this partnership because, it's a buzzword. People want a piece of Dubai. And that's really helped us massively. So our growth has really helped us to, without having to do a lot of marketing, people are like, okay, Dubai, get a piece of Dubai. This is the best way to do it. But over and above that, what I think we've also really pushed the envelope on is the fact that, people are able to get that income at the end of every month, where in other platforms, people are buying stuff that's off plan, so they don't see that income immediately. We distribute income at the end of every month. We've distributed over 12 million dirhams since we launched the business. Just last month, we distributed over 1 million dirhams.
Amazing.
So the fact that people see that tangible income coming in really helps us scale the business.
I want to set up a new account today. How long does that take me to?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Literally 3 minutes.
So what do I have to do?
Create an account, you put your username, put your email, and a password, and then you upload your passport, proof of address, and boom, within 3 minutes, you can pay for a property using a debit card or a bank transfer, and you become an owner. It literally takes 3 minutes.
How, if I'm invested, how do I know that Stake are choosing the right properties that will allow me to get good yields, but also exit in the future? Like, what sort of vetting process do you go through?
So just to give you a background, this is something we've done, worked really well with Allsopp and Allsopp on, and I think this is where we're building the relationship. Over the last 6 months, we've really scaled in terms of acquiring properties from you guys, and I think people need to understand that we're not a business where we just want to do a deal and then move on. Our business is based on recurring investor base. Our investors, over 70% of them, invest more than once. And the reason why they do that is because our business is they come in and we do the property management for them. It's a hassle-free, you're investing in real estate, but you don't have to worry about the headache of managing, getting the rental. We do all of that for you. So it's in our best interest to make sure that investors have a great experience. How do they get a great experience? By choosing the right properties. And we only focus on certain developers. We focus on certain areas. And we focus on certain brokerages, which is why we're very close with you guys, because we really believe the fact that acquiring the right property at the right price is key to having a successful business. And when we get over 100 properties sent to us every week, but we only choose a small number of them because the return needs to make sense. But over and above that, is that property located in an area where there's capital appreciation potential? So we run those numbers. We have an in-house algorithm that runs those numbers, and we base it, and that's how we make our decisions.
Good. So you're not just buying anything and anything as long as the numbers make sense.
No. And I think I think this is one of the reasons that we've been very successful in. And I should have answered that when one of your colleagues asked me that earlier. Is what differentiates us from other platforms is the fact that we really focus on quality. We could put properties in anywhere in Dubai just because the numbers make sense, but it's even more than that because the numbers might make sense for the first year, but then the numbers might drop. There's more supply coming in there, so we won't list anything. We really focus on quality and the right developers, right tenant profile, good rent. We're very specific.
So how many new properties per month would I likely see on your platform? So I'm a new investor. I've parted with 500 dirhams. That's gone in. I get paid next month. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the turnaround of new properties that are normally on show for buyers?
This year, we'll have, on a monthly basis, not less than 25 properties every month. Yeah. We're expected to go over 400 properties this year. We already have on the platform that's been funded over 175. And this year, as I said, we're going to exceed 400. So at any point in time, you'll see a minimum of 6, but we're going to take that up and scale it up so that at any point in the month, you'll have over 25 properties sold on the platform.
And perhaps it makes more sense to people that live in Dubai but who are familiar with the areas. But whereabouts do you typically buy? Is this being in the water important or villas, apartments?
So we do anything that's in downtown, Business Bay, Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah. We look at La Mer. Anything that's waterfront obviously makes a lot of sense for us.
Yeah.
But over and above that, in those areas, we actually focus on the good developers. Because as I'm sure you know, there's many developers out there that overpromise, underdeliver. And we know the ones, so I realized I didn't get into this, but my past, I've been in Dubai now for 18 years. Mm-hmm. I've worked in real estate for 18 years. I worked for some of the top developers. And, I decided to start this business purely because of the fact that I felt the end user was not getting what he was promised. And, people deserve, when you're investing in real estate, it's the biggest decision you make in your life. It really is. It's the biggest, you're putting almost all your life savings into it. But people weren't making that decision based on right data. They weren't getting a transparent experience. And I saw that firsthand. Over and above that, they were overexposing themselves into either getting a mortgage or buying something off plan, waiting 4 or 5 years to see any returns. So we're like, how do you create a platform that allows people to invest into something that's transparent? And that's something that I've always pushed on. And the fact that we're regulated really helps us because it gives the customer the comfort that we're not just, any platform, that we're regulated, the numbers are checked, everything is solid before it gets listed on the platform. So transparency is something that is massive for us.
One question that people may ask is that why would I have a percentage or a small percentage of a property than just go and buy something on my own without the reliance of a platform or other investors?
So I think mainly it's concentration risk. If you have $1 million dirhams in your bank account and you're going to go out and buy a property, you can do that. And usually people do that when they want to buy their home. But if you want to buy an investment and you have a limited amount of funds, why would you lock up all that capital into property? And, even above and beyond that, I would say, why would you lock up all that capital into one asset class, real estate? We're big fans of diversification. If someone asks me, Rami, I have $100,000. Should I put it all into real estate? And I say, no, diversify that. There's crypto now. You could put it in the stock market. Yeah. I'm not a believer, but, you can put it into the stock market.
In the subject.
Yeah, that's not the subject, 100%. Risk profile. I'm very risk averse when it comes to that, which is why I'm in real estate. Yeah. So, we tell people if you have that money, diversify it. And I think the power of having a platform where you can get exposure to real estate, but not having to have all that money locked up into one property, diversified across various properties, is a massive win for us. And I think that's for the customer. Lower your risk, but more importantly, your hassle. People who invest in real estate need to have time. They need to have information. They need to have the money. We take care of all of that. You don't need to have a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of time. And you don't need to have all the information. We do all that for you and allow you to invest in property.
I know the answer, but state own the properties, or the properties individually owned by the people that invest?
So we don't own anything in the property. We're a marketplace. We're an investment platform where people invest onto it. We connect the sellers and the buyers. We do the due diligence. We take care of all the property management, but we don't own any of the property. So God forbid, state closes down tomorrow. All the properties are owned by the SPVs, the companies in the DIFC, which I mentioned earlier. And then if anything happens, the investors still own the property. So unlike other asset classes, if they go to zero, the investors lose their money. We've seen that with a lot of crypto platforms, went bankrupt. With us, real estate is always going to be there. They own that real estate. And the beauty of it is on the app, investors will get that ownership proof on their app. They're able to see the title deed, they're able to see the share certificate. They can even actually go to the DIFC website and see their name under the SPV. So it really is such a transparent thing, process and experience. And as stake, it's purely owned by the investors, not us.
What about, is there like a barrier to a decision to be made when you want to sell? So let's say, for example, property's gone up up 20%. If I own something myself, typically I'm in control of when that asset can be relinquished.
Great
is there a kind of parameters of when a decision's made from either stake or the total investors to relinquish the investment?
That's a great question. So at the end of the day, people, when they invest in property, especially on our platform, they have one goal in mind: to make money, maximize their return.
Yeah.
So usually what we see is when it comes time to sell, the majority of people are all aligned because they would have made that money from the rent. They would have made that money from the rent, capital appreciation. And all you need is 75% of the people to decide they want to sell. And the majority of the times, and all the properties we've exited, people, we give them that information to say, hey, listen, you've made 40% return. Majority of the times, people are like, yeah, let me exit. We've never had a time where people were not aligned. Because when people get into an investment, the majority, for money, from an investment point of view, they're always aligned. So exit.
So the vast majority of people have the option to sell. Obviously, last 3 years is an outlier because prices have gone up, but most end up selling. And
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and recycle that money.
I was going to say, how much of that is reinvested back?
80% of the investors have reinvested that money back into the platform.
Okay. So it shows it works.
Yeah, it shows it works. And, for me, it's, people ask us, what's the best, attributes of stake? Why do I invest in the platform? Other than the fact that you're actually getting an exposure into Dubai, which is one of the hottest real estate markets in the world, but you're actually getting the fact that you're not only earning that income, but you're seeing that capital appreciation being realized.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's in our best interest to have happy investors. We want people to realize that money. That's why it's in our benefit to give them that data and then get them to experience the full cycle exit, get that rent, and then fully exit the property.
So I've invested some money into stake.
Yes.
And one thing I love every single month, I get a little notification or an email come through saying, just to let you know, your rent's arrived in your bank account, which is an absolute a lovely thing. And in that stake wallet, basically can build up and you can reinvest it or you can withdraw it, right?
Yes. So we give power to all our investors. Last month, I'm very proud of this. We distributed over $1 million dirhams in rental income to over 180 nationalities, 200 countries. I mean, honestly, the fact that we've built that back end, when the team told me...
Sounds like a banking nightmare, by the way.
Yeah, but thankfully, NBD have been very helpful with us with our business and scaling that. But, at the end of the day, when we've looked at just how much tech we've built to enable people to get that income into their stake wallets, and then if they want to withdraw it, it's literally a press of a button, and then it automatically goes into our back end, goes straight to the bank, and then it's withdrawn back to their bank around the world. So people can decide to reinvest, withdraw, or sit on that money for the next property until it happens. We're actually building something exciting in Q2. We're actually working on it right now, where people will have a much easier way to reinvest, and we'll announce that very soon.
Okay. How big can stake get? Because you say the ambition is to have 400 essentially by the end of this year, right? In totality, not, and how many fresh purchases? What, 250 this year?
Yes,
maybe
250 this year. It's over 250.
How big can that get? Because is Dubai limited in terms of the pool of properties you're interested in? Where does it go?
Excellent question. So for us, we want to be the Dubai's largest landlord, private landlord, and for us, it really. If you look at the market today, developers build to sell. Unlike other markets in the world, developers kind of build to hold on to rent for the yield. Here, majority of developers build to sell. So we see an opportunity today to enable people to say, "Hey, listen, I want to invest with this platform." It effectively becomes kind of an asset manager, like a portfolio manager. And we see that there's massive demand from international markets, even local markets, to invest into the Dubai market. And we want to be Dubai's largest landlord. And we genuinely believe that we can do that because we really focus versus other people. We really focus on creating such an amazing experience, not just for people who are investing on the platform, but for tenants in our portfolio. If you ask anyone who lives in a stake apartment, we have an amazing experience, specifically with tie-ups with you guys on the properties that we get from you through property managers. And when you property manage a property, the properties that we get from you, we really focus on ensuring the tenants have an amazing experience. So that also helps us scale up on the portfolio. So we really see that we'll be on 1,000 units by the end of 2025.
I guess things like tenant retention is good and helps with renewals as well, getting higher rental prices for your landlords. So.
And, as a landlord, we're not in the business to immediately buy and sell. So tenants kind of can tend to, be like, oh, I'm going to get an eviction notice. I'm going to get, people start worrying. As a landlord, we're a long-term holder. We want people to be in these properties. We want them to have a good experience with us. So not only do we cater to users, we really cater to investors, to the rent tenants on the platform.
Where's the catch? Because again, I'm an investor. I've seen it firsthand, and my experience has been amazing. But someone watching, they're just thinking, this can't be. It sounds too good to be true. Where does Stake make their money?
Okay, that's where the beauty of it is we don't have any hidden fees. Everything's transparent. Everything's on the platform. You can see that we're very transparent with all our transactions. How do we make fees? We charge sellers a fee to list on the platform. So I'll give you an example. Actually, this is a very cool statistic. It takes us now 10 days to sell a property on the platform compared to a market average of over 30.
Yeah.
When you list something on Stake, it immediately sells within the maximum of 10 days. If the property has a very high yield, it funds in 100 minutes. So from a seller point of view, this is great. I'm getting transparency because what we've seen sellers do is when they give us a property, they create an account on Stake. They actually see how much is being sold of their property.
Very cool.
It's amazing. That's transparency that they usually don't get in the open market. So from a seller point of view, they're getting that, and we pay 100% cash. So we don't take debt. It's a manager check. At the end of the maximum of 30 days, they get that manager check straight into their bank account. They're happy. So we charge sellers a fee for that.
So I'm paying for speed and convenience, essentially.
Speed, convenience, and transparency.
Yeah.
I think transparency is something that people undervalue, but I think sellers want that transparency. From an investment point of view, we charge investors 1.5% upfront to when they invest on the platform. Then we charge them a yearly fee of 0.5% to manage the property, make sure that we're working with the property managers. It's always
1.5% of the initial investment or the ongoing, not the second, that's third, fourth, just the first.
So just first 1.5%, that's done once, okay. And then 0.5% every year to manage the properties. Yep. And whenever they sell their stake, whether it's through the secondary market or exit window on the platform, or whenever the property is fully sold, we charge 2.5%. Okay. Those are the only fees. Super transparent.
Seems not a lot considering you're aiming to get your investors 6% per year, and also potentially upsides of 10%, 20% of property value. Mm-hmm. I'm just a little bit confused that, from your perspective, where can this go? Is there any plans to go beyond Dubai or US, UK? This sounds like it could be scaled anywhere.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of tech, right? You're saying that doesn't sound like a lot, and it really isn't. We really do a lot for investors, and I tend to remind our marketing team that when we're going out with content, to explain to investors, do content that explains to people that you're sitting on your couch in Tokyo. And with 3 presses, you own a piece of Dubai, and you're getting that rental income. You don't know what's going on in the back end, but I'm sure you know more than anyone, Carl, that it really is a hassle to manage property.
Yes.
Manage tenants, manage renewals. If there's a leak, we have to take care of all of that with our property managers. So all of that is managed on behalf of the investors, and they don't have to worry about a thing. They just get that income. But because we've focused so much on tech and scale on tech, that we're able to generate a decent revenue from these fees. Because we scale with tech. We don't need thousands of people in the business. We really forced ourselves to build technology that scales. It does not require to have people to help do that property management or do the sourcing. And that's one of the things, partnering up with you guys helps us acquire at scale rather than having a team of acquisition in-house. We know we'll work with you guys and depend on your channels and what you guys do.
Yeah.
So that's how it helps us. In terms of acquisition, in terms of expansion, Saudi is next. Everyone's heard about Vision 2030 and I just came back last week from Saudi Arabia. What's happening there is unbelievable.
Yeah, everyone I speak they just come out with so much energy.
It's just unbelievable, honestly. When you think about it, we were talking about this earlier. 2 years ago, women couldn't drive, and now they can. And you just think about that for a while, and just imagine, how much more upside there is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And you go into the real estate market, and what's happening there? There's 30 million people, and part of Vision 2030 is to increase home ownership. But then you add to it that now they're opening up to expat investors. They're going to start announcing freehold. The opportunity is unbelievable. And it really reminds me when I first came to Dubai and started seeing freehold, oh my God, look at how much the opportunity is here back in 2004, 2005. The same things are happening in Saudi Arabia, but also there's huge scale because you're literally just scratching the surface.
Before we wrap up, is there anything that we've not discussed which would really simplify what Stake is? I probably can frame it as incredibly admirable what you guys are doing, because what you're essentially doing is you're leveling the playing field for everyone to have a piece of Dubai's success story and allowing people to have some say in the Dubai property market, but also having skin in the game with how amazing this place is and where it could go. So you're an incredible enabler and a leveling the playing field. Is there anything that, from your perspective, to kind of frame stake what it is and how people can make the most of this. What more?
I think the easiest way to break it down is we enable people to build and own wealth through real estate by investing digitally and now enabling you to become a landlord in less than 3 minutes. Honestly, I mean, to simplify it, it's that easy. We enable people to build and own wealth through investing in real estate fractionally, transparently, and digitally. It really is that simple, and a regulated environment.
So, rather than having a night out in the UK or having several packets of cigarettes in the UK or going to somewhere in the US and wasting your money, you could own a bit of real estate and build on your future for as little as £100, $136 today inside 3 minutes and start getting rent within 45, 60 days.
100%. Exactly.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. During the bottom of the YouTube videos and everywhere else, there'll be links to Stake, how you can do it. I think there's referral fees as well. So if you sign up to Stake and refer someone else, you can also earn free money.
200 dirhams. We have a referral link. It's a very seamless process. We have an online chat support. Anything you guys need, we're always available. Download the app, try us out, and I'm sure you'll have great returns and a great experience on the platform.
I'll leave it on that note. Thank you ever so much, guys.
Thank you so much.